Good morning. Good morning. It's 9 o'clock, and we are ready to start our Nestle Nutrition Institute workshop on milk, mucosal immunity, and the microbiome impact on the neonate. I'm Natalia Wagemans. I'm head of the Nestle Nutrition Institute, and I'm happy to see all of you here today in Lausanne. And I believe that we will have 3 very wonderful and exciting scientific days. Before I will introduce you our distinguished chairs, I would like to give you a couple of words about the Nestle Nutrition Institute. Nestle Nutrition Institute, or how people call that NNI, is a non-for-profit association registered here in Switzerland with the main purpose of sharing science for better nutrition with health professionals, nutrition communities, and other professional people who are very interesting and care about nutrition. Because we absolutely believe that nutrition can improve quality of people's life in the world. And the Nestle Nutrition Institute is doing that in a different ways. We meet like we meet today, face-to-face, and we discuss with experts the very important topics in nutrition. We do a lot of online communication, like this workshop will be filmed, and right now it's live streaming of the workshop that all globe, all world, and people around the world can see us and listen discussions. So I welcome also all people who are now in the different parts of the world looking and listening these presentations. And the flagship of the Nestle Nutrition Institute is the workshop. The first workshop we started in 1980, and the topic of the workshop was nutrition during pregnancy, eating for 2, with the question mark. And probably question mark is still there. We still have a lot of questions what is it important to do during pregnancy to assure the appropriate outcome for mother and the baby. And since that, all these years, Nestle Nutrition Institute has invested in this education and academic activities. And today, we are celebrating the opening of the 94th Nestle Nutrition Institute workshop. The workshops, after the workshops, we have proceedings, and outside of this room, you will see the books with people, they used to call them blue books. This is a proceeding of the workshop, and this workshop also will be converted in the publication, which all people can be using and really enjoying for their professional life. So why we decided to talk about milk, mucosal immunity, and the microbiome, and how does this influence the neonate? The answer is simple and not simple. Simple because during the last decades, there are a lot of science which came and shows us there is a very difficult mixture of bioactive components in human milk, which is influencing immunity and microbiome of the baby. It's influencing not only by the protecting it, but also by building tolerance and helping establish and develop the most appropriate inflammatory response. And the human milk is the unique vehicle between maternal immune system and the immune system of the baby, not only directing that, but also guiding and educating immune system for baby how to manage not easy life outside of mother. So saying this, we really delighted to have 3 distinguished chairs with us who brought this program together. They brought all fantastic speakers, and the topics which we will be discussing in 3 days, they really will cover a lot of topics in the science we have now about human milk. However, I said it's simple and not simple, because probably after this workshop, we will have more questions to answer than the answers we will give during the presentations. So we are looking forward to these fantastic discussions. So 3 people, I believe you know all of them: Alan Walker, Olga Perret, and Bo Lonnerdahl. They are not new to you. They are also not new to the Nestle Nutrition Institute, because they had in the past already chaired and brought programs together. And I looked yesterday through the archives of the Nestle Nutrition Institute workshops, and I found that Pere Ogra was the chair of the Nestle Nutrition Institute Workshop 61, together with David Barker, when they were talking about the window of opportunity pre-pregnancy to 24 months. Correct? Absolutely. Alan Walker, he was already chairing 2 workshops. One was the NNI Workshop 53 with Erika Isolauri, when they were talking about allergic disease and the environment, and the Workshop 88, Intestinal Microbiome Functional Aspects in Health and Disease. And Bolo Nerdal was a chair on the Workshop 90, and human milk composition, clinical benefit, and future opportunities, together with Alan Lucas, Sharon Donovan, and Bruce German. You see, we have very experienced people here, and let's welcome them and give them the round of applause for this fantastic job. And before I introduce the chairperson of this session, I would like to give you a little bit understanding about the format of this workshop. So each speaker will have 1 hour to describe and discuss the topic. We will have enough time for the questions and answers after the presentation of each speaker. And if you see that you have the table microphones, which I believe you should use when you ask the question, I would like to do a little rehearsal with you now that you know how microphones are working. So you will see on the microphone the silver, like a frame on the bottom. And let's try to push it now, the frame. The microphone turns red. Just the frame, the silver frame. It's working. So to switch microphone, when you don't speak, you have to switch microphone. So my ask to you, it will work. You know? Only 4 microphones at the same time can work to avoid too much noise interaction. So this is good tips to know. But because we are recording and doing the live webcast of the event, I would appreciate if after you finish ask the question, you switch off the microphone and you don't come very close because it's very sensitive. You speak in the normal way, sitting 5-10 centimeters from the microphone. And in this case, we ensure that our online audience will hear that very well. And with this, I have a pleasure to introduce Pere Ogra, who is the chair of the first session of today's workshop, and the session is on immunology of milk in lactation.